Hello there, everybody, and today I'm here to review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And with the honor of the show coming out this August, let's talk about the movie that came out back in August. Even though this poster says September, even though it came out in August. But anyway, so this is a completely different incarnation of the Turtles with stellar animation, an actual teenager voice cast, and a lots of cool characters. So let's waste no time. But this movie I was super excited for. Some people, I don't know if they were excited for it, but it feels like we haven't gotten anything Ninja Turtles in a while since all we've been getting is comics. And I was always wondering, are we ever going to get a new show since Rise of the Ninja Turtles ended? And we did get that movie, but this is like a theatrically released animated movie with I don't know if it's a higher budget, but we get a bunch of cool stuff. So this Turtles is it's different because it opens completely different with which is revealed to be that these soldier people are after Baxter Stockman. He's voiced by Giancarlo Esposito, Moff Gideon himself. The perfect casting. But apparently he has mutant experiments, which is he's being charged for. And the guys do hunt for him while he's escaping, and he's got all his mutant buddies with him who he's been experimenting on. They'll be relevant later, but he apparently, when he's arrested, I think he dies in this movie, but his mutagen drops into the sewer, and that's where we get our title card, and it opens with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on a rooftop, and it turns out they're grocery shopping, and Leo's talking like a Batman voice. And let's talk about the voice cast. But we got here Nicholas Cantu as Leonardo. I think I actually remember him being in the Star Wars Freemaker Adventures. The fun fact. But he's voicing Leonardo now, which is cool. We got Bradley Noon as Raphael. I think Miguel Abbey as Donnie, and other guy who voices, I think his name is Sean Brown Jr., who voices Mikey. I'm sorry if I got his name wrong, but yeah, they're really good as the Turtles. Donnie sounds a lot younger. This might sound like a nitpick, but I don't know. Donnie sounds a little odd. But then again, he's a teenager, so what do you expect? But it's awesome that they got teenagers to voice the Turtles, since usually they're voiced by adults who are trying to do teenager voices, and then you don't even. I gotta be honest, this is a weird take, but the Turtles honestly don't really sound like teenagers. Most of them don't really sound like teenagers. They kind of just sound like adults, intimidated, trying to do a teenager voice, trying to act like these laid back turtles. But it's actually cool that they got them to do the turtle voices, and they do a good job, and they definitely sound like the Turtles. But let's talk about the design. I really like the designs. Leo's design, I think it looks iconic. And they got belt buckles, of course, and Raph's got a strap headpiece. I don't know what the Turtles' obsession is with having Raph have his top head be covered with his mask. Donnie, he's looking techy. He's got his glasses, his phone, and we got Mikey. He's looking casual. But yeah, these designs, I got the action figures of them, and they look awesome. But anyway, during the movie, they are stealing groceries from a grocery store, and it's actually, I always wondered how the Turtles got their pizza. So this is their way of getting food, I guess. But they see a airing of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I thought that scene was funny. But it turns out the Turtles really just want to be in the human world. They want to have normal lives, and that's where they do meet Splinter, played by legendary actor Jackie Chan. So yeah, great casting. I love Jackie Chan. I feel like I haven't seen enough of his movies, but he's really great as the Karate Kid playing the sensei mentor, and it perfectly matches his character playing Master Splinter. He's also played Sensei Wu, which was cool, from Ninjago. But yeah, Splinter's design, he's more of a fodder figure. Usually he is. I don't know, he isn't usually the wise sensei, but he's more of the dad. But we do learn about their origins, so this is a big thing for Ninja Turtle history. Where this time, Splinter was just a rat in New York, apparently in his 20s, who found the turtles after getting into a little scuffle with some of the other critters, and he falls into a sewer, and he's looking for food, and he's actually vicious towards the turtles being born, and they are covered in ooze from earlier when Baxter Stockman dropped his mutagen. Apparently it spread onto the turtles, and they're about to mutate, but Splinter has a change of heart, and he literally bathes in this ooze, and they all mutate, and the turtles turn into little baby turtles, and they look adorable, like baby Grogu, but Splinter decides to take them out into the sewer after spending lonely time in the sewer, but he takes them out, and they're amazed by the city, but the people freak out, and the turtles end up, like, I think almost getting run over by a car, and and Splinter himself, when he tries to rescue one of them, but he ends up deciding to go down in the sewer and remain there. And ever since then, Splinter has a huge hatred of humans. He's like prejudiced against them. This is like, honestly, this interpretation is surprisingly different. Isn't like, there's no mention of Hamato Yoshi, Tang Shen, Oroku Saki, none of that. A completely different version. It's not even like in like the 2014 version of the movie where they're lab turtles and rat, and like in the IDW ones as well. But like, this is like if they were just the average animals on the street. But it was I guess a nice change of pace. But the turtles are really bummed since they want to have a girlfriend, they want to go to high school, and yeah, they just want to hang out, but somehow they're able to use phones. Weird, I know. But while they were on the rooftop recording videos of them slicing watermelons, they encounter some suspicious They think they see something suspicious, but it turns out they throw a throwing star, which is revealed to be April. So a lot of people, I'm gonna keep vague on this, but people were angry over April in this movie. I don't know why. But this one is definitely interested in April. She already immediately gets along with the turtles. I like the part where she thinks they're just wearing costumes, but then she's like freaking out once she realizes it's them. Like, they're actually mutants, and they explain their story through pizza. And April's revealed that she wants to be a journalist. So yeah, the turtles' interpretations have not really explored April trying to be a journalist, how she was in the 80s show. Like, the 2003 show didn't really explore that, since she was like a lab assistant. Even the original comics, she was just a lab assistant. But in this, she's someone trying to be a journalist, like in the 80s show. But yeah, it was nice to finally explore April doing that, since she was in the original 90s movie, and they explored it in the 2014 movie. But most of the cartoons, not really. Besides the 80s ones, but anyway, they bump into gang members, and they get into this cool fight scene. And it turns out the turtles have a plan. They want to get known so they can be accepted in society by capturing some of these goons. And April reports on it with her journalist skills, and it will help the turtles get famous, I guess. And so they can help join society and go to school. We even get like a little animation, 2D animation of it. But it turns out they are looking for the mutant Superfly, who is revealed to be the big bad of this movie. There's this scene where they play this music video, and they're like going through various warehouses and defeating these various gang members. It's a very cool scene. I just love the action in this movie. Like, it's so good. And then I think there's even a scene where they go to school at first, where they try to sign up for various things, and so they can plan out their next move. But I do like the scene where they try to come up with their last names, and they're just like, maybe Michelangelo or Leonardo, and they were making fun of his last name. It could be like Ardo or something. But during all of this, while they're fighting, we do finally meet our fellow I guess bad guy, we meet Superfly and his gang of mutants, and we get a bunch of cameos. I wouldn't say these are cameos. A bunch of cool characters voiced by a bunch of celebrities. We get Bebop and Rocksteady voiced by Seth Rogen, John Cena, who was also in Rise of the Turtles. We get Ray Fillet. We haven't seen him in the Turtles for a long time. We get Scumbug, who was in the '80s show. We get Letterhead. And Genghis, Wingnut. We didn't get Screwloose for some reason. And Mondo Gecko, saving best for last. Voiced by Paul Rudd. So yeah, Paul Rudd in this movie, he is awesome as Mondo Gecko. You already feel him as this character. I just love the scene where he's like, let's vibe, bros. Like, you feel like he's a gangster indeed. But yeah, all these celebrities are voicing these characters. I don't know if they're going to return in like the new series. That would be awesome though. But yeah, and Superfly is voiced by Ice Cube, which is cool. And I actually really like Superfly in this movie. He's interesting. I honestly almost thought he was Baxter Stockman since they kind of look like him, since he has the fuzzy hair on his back and he views him as like a father figure. And we do learn about the origin of the mutant gang. Apparently they were Baxter Stockman's experiments, and they were mutated, and they were all growing up with each other. They viewed each other as like family, and they tried to join human society just like the Turtles, but they instead they got rejected, of course, and they decided to flee. So yeah, and now they meet up with the Turtles, and he offers them to join him when they're all hanging out at the bowling alley chilling. But there's a funny scene where Mondo's like using like one of the like air conditioners or something. But that was funny. But like April has them be spying on them, but it turns out Superfly's big plot, which just makes him the villain of this movie. He wants to get rid of every human and take it over with mutants because he believes, because they rejected him, he believes that he needs to get rid of all of them. And April's like, that's very bad. But the Turtles are not on board with this plan. And Superfly's like, what? I thought you guys were cool. But they bring the Turtles along in their van, and there's like this big car chase, and they play this one song. It was meant to be funny, and I forget what it's called. It's called What's Up or something. But they end up getting into a car chase, and they get out of the van, and the Turtles are unfortunately captured by the soldiers from all the way at the beginning of the movie. But they are captured and about to get experimented on by this one lady. I have this theory. I think she's a Krang. Possibly. I don't know. She's like this evil witch who wants to do bad things to mutants. And yeah, it's I think, and the Turtles tried to get April, but she fled away, and she tries to confront Splinter, who turns out he's trying to experience the whole human things. Because earlier in the movie, while the Turtles were fighting those gang members, they took their clothes as like collectives so they can learn the human style. And Splinter was like cool about it. He's like, oh, I found your human clothes. But once April comes in, he's like, what? But what happens next is Superfly is plotting his next move, and the Turtles are getting experimented on, and then April herself gets captured, and it leads to a confrontation. And then Splinter does show up, and he gets into a cool fight scene, and I think he does free the Turtles. But I think the other mutants came along, and they promised the Turtles. There's this funny scene where the Turtles try to get Superfly to go along with their plan, not to exterminate people, and they were willing to accept them for who they are. And Mondo's like, "You'll accept us?" He's like, "Yes, dude. You can stay with us." But Superfly's not buying it. He's just like, "Stop this whole kumbaya, I love each other stuff." And he wants them to die, the turtles to die, since he believes they're not on their side. But they all decide they're on the turtles' side, and then Superfly decides to mutate himself, and he turns into this giant, I don't even know, like this giant blob thing. Like, it's super, like, the most over the top mutant, and he decides he must invade New York. And he even tries to get, I think he even tried to get Splinter to tag along, like, to be on his side, since Splinter's also prejudiced against humans. But Splinter's starting to have a little arc where he learns that maybe humans aren't all that bad. But it's up for all the mutants and the turtles to team up and take down Superfly. And they get into this cool, they go on like the water, they're all like jumping various platforms to get to the city, and the turtles and Splinter are all trapped into like a net, and Scumbug is like dumping like stuff all over them. It's gross, but like Superfly is planning to use a satellite to destroy them all or something, and the turtles are trying to take them down, but he is just too powerful, and he has them at their grip. And I'm kind of jumping a bit, but like he ends up actually almost crushing the turtle's shell. But the only thing they have is to take down Superfly is with this retro mutant they found in a lab when captured. But I think when Splinter tries to help out, he in the news is trying to make them think they're the bad guys. But April comes in, and she basically announces that like they're not the bad guys. And she also has this little arc where she's known as Puke Girl, because she has this social anxiety, and she ends up puking. But April ends up using her skills to promote the turtles as the good guys, and I think the humans end up helping Splinter get up. They're like, "Hey man, you okay?" And then Splinter and the humans all help out, and they dump the mutant in Superfly, and I think they managed to take him down, and and the other mutants do help out. And yeah, that's it for Superfly. But I wasn't sure when I saw this. I was wondering if Superfly died, but I think he's gonna return, probably. But the turtles, they end up all getting accepted by all the people. They're all praising them, and so the turtles have finally been accepted in society, and they decided to go to their first day of school. We see all the mutants hanging out, and Splinter packs their lunches, and he said he's so proud of them. And they literally put on their school clothes. They take their masks off. They're not wearing their ninja masks anymore. And this scene kind of concerned me, because I wondered if that means they're going to stop being the Ninja Turtles. But in the show, in the sequel, it looks like they're still going to be Ninja Turtles. They just want to be part of normal school. But they end up going to school, and it goes well. Everyone's cheering them, and they end up going to prom. Leo actually ends up asking April out to prom, and this is wild, since Leo has never shown interest in April, like, ever. Like, he was always in the show. He was always interested in Karai, and Donnie was in the April in the 2012 show. So yeah, it was a change of pace, I guess. But turns out the Utron lady from earlier in the movie, turns out she's spying on the turtles, and she decides to bring on a new threat. That in this post-credit scene, here's a spoiler: it's revealed to be the Shredder. I was wondering if we're gonna get Shredder in this movie, but turns out there is a Shredder. We don't know if it's a Roku Saki. We have to wait and see. It turns out he's gonna be just as a big of a threat as Superfly, so that could be interesting. But I don't think he's gonna be in the new series. But so yeah, that's Tmnt Mutant Mayhem. It was really good. It was different from other incarnations of the Turtles, but hey, every Tmnt adaptation is different in their own way, unique. But I really love this movie. And the animation, yeah, it looks really good. It has the certain style they're trying to go with, the whole Spider-Verse. That's what kind of vibe I got from this animation. But yeah. And it was... I wish the other mutant characters were more fleshed out. They kind of felt like background characters, but they were still awesome. And I still have some of their toys. I'd really want to get Bebop and Rocksteady as the toys. But I really look forward to the show, and Mutant Mayhem was a really fun movie with awesome voice acting, awesome animation, cool action, and a nice change of pace from the usual interpretation of the Turtles. So I don't think I have anything else to say about this movie. I think the next review I'll have to wait and see, but might be Barbie. I'm not sure, but anyway, thanks for watching and Turtle Power.